And then I'm going to do something I wrote. I didn't name it. Okay, you guys ready? Greetings. My name at the moment doesn't matter because there's a world sinking under a world devastated by mortality. A generation lost in their slumber. And the pursuit of nothing with expectations of something misdirected with the misconception that leads to one direction, destruction. Stories of origins waiting to be told. Discoveries of galaxies, planets, and nebulas unfold. Observing cells or chromosomes or every strand of DNA. Still the sinister state of mankind science cannot explain. They say it's only going to get worse, and to be honest, I don't doubt it. Fearsome and daunting, there's nothing pretty about it. It's evil, wherever it comes from, however it's injected, it is evident that the heart of mankind is infected. It's menacing but not tangible. We're mentioning the world struck with apathy. It's a disease that keeps growing and it's spreading so rapidly. You cannot observe it under a microscope. It is rooted deep within. We all have the symptoms of sickness is sin. Rage. Adultery, selfishness, idolatry, apathy, blasphemy, hate, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, stealing, coveting, malice and pride, murder and rape. Distressed and in despair, stiff-necked people who do not care. They sign a covenant with the ruler of the kingdom of the air. Injustice all around. In a nation where it's acceptable to kill an unborn child. Discrimination, racism and prejudice, prostitution, sex trafficking, slavery still exists. We put our faith in politics, and they prove themselves to be hypocrites. America's full of gluttony, and they're becoming obese. Well, there's a girl in Guatemala who's starving and cannot eat. Woo! Even kids in our country are living on the streets. Now, there's nothing wrong with a house, shelter, food, and a nice, comfortable bed, but there's a boy in Africa without a place to lay his head. Child soldiers overseas, and they're ready to kill at will. Young girls getting violently raped and murdered on tape, and they sell it as snuff films. Molestation, rape. It doesn't just hurt her. It takes her innocence a treasure. Detrimentally damaged because a pervert want to control in a few seconds of pleasure. Now some grow up fatherless. Some get beaten and abused by their dads. Sexually transmitted disease, undesirable pregnancies. Now you have responsibilities for all the sex that you've had. But it's cool for the guy to have sex and leave the girl. Man, oh man, do we live in such a contradicting world where having sex is vital, but falling in love, that's old-fashioned. No concern for dedication. Our commitment towards idols is where we aim our passion. You covetous people, you are full of shameful lust, living as if you were created to party, have sex, and get drunker. You smoke to get so high, but you're really getting so low. You bought into the lies, you follow the gospel of YOLO. Suicide and homicide rates. Sickness and disease. Some say the end is near with all the laws, and your only concern is how you appear to your peers. We turn our back on our maker, separated from the creator. Anything good given to us, man will surely twist. Time, matter, and space created themselves. Nothing can create something with the statement God does not exist. His divine nature is made clear. This is not incomprehensible, yet you're so apprehensive when there's a love in which you can confide. There's contention between you and the God of unapproachable light. He's the way, the truth, and the
life.
1 Corinthians chapter 2 declares the Spirit lives within me. He's revealing the hidden things as well. That there's not just a generation, but a church that is on its way to hell. Godless. This world, godless. This nation, godless. The government,
godless.
Our culture, and the media,
godless.
The majority of the church is
godless.
Their theology and self-righteousness are idols of fraud. They are the definition of godless without God. See, the world is searching for God, but the church is in the way, following lies with hypocritical lies and they're leading sheep astray. Church, you don't want to follow God, because that means that you're not in control. You would rather win an argument than you would to win a soul. We've disregarded our vows, our covenant, rebelling but claiming God as if we can do better, but we can't. On the straight and narrow, but we've fallen off course. If the church is the bride of Christ, they file for a divorce. Forget the fear of God, because our agenda comes first. You are living in rebellion. You have lost the call of God, church. Matthew chapter 7, verse 22 and 23. Many will come and say, Lord, we have prophesied, we have done many good deeds. And he will say, I never knew you. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. Meaning not all will get in who claim to believe. They don't even realize they're wolves dressed as sheep. Now we can be with God because Jesus died on the cross. Even though this world is godless and lost. In His presence, there is love for the broken and there is freedom for the slave. Something far greater than your worldly possession that you crave. This message applies to you. It applies to me. Not a message of despair, but of HOPE. So to my broken generation, you can be changed. Sin will drag you to hell, but you can be saved. There's only one name that has the power to raise the dead, heal the sick, and can free us. So wake up, church. This generation needs us, and above all else, this generation needs Jesus. Amen.